The Incredible Hulk, especially within the MCU, doesn't have the best reputation. Back then in 2008, Marvel didn't really have its formula down yet, so in hindsight, this movie turned out to be very different than all the other movies we got within the MCU. And in this case, different doesn't necessarily mean good, but nonetheless, I have some great childhood nostalgia, some great childhood memories for this movie. Because back then when I saw this movie for the first time, I was still a little kid, I don't know, like 9 or 10 years old. I remember I didn't even see this movie in cinema, and back then, I didn't even know what the MCU was or is going to be. I'm not even sure if back then you can say that the MCU existed, so I just watched this movie as a movie and not like as a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I should probably also add the fact that this was the first Hulk movie that I ever saw, so I also didn't go into this movie comparing it to past Hulk movies and having like expectations for the character of Hulk. Back then, I was just a guy that I remember playing like Hulk on a GameCube, and I remember actually playing it at a friend's house. I didn't even own the game myself, and we were just jumping around New York City, I guess, or just some city, and we weren't even really playing missions or something like that, but we were just jumping around the city as Hulk and enjoyed smashing things together, just like in the movie. And this movie, in all its seriousness, also has a lot of smashing things together. Like, we get exactly that Hulk police car boxing glove scene, we get the Hulk smash, a ton of Hulk screams, and also just that entire final battle of Hulk and the Abomination facing off as just the two monsters fighting in a city, not caring about casualties and crushing buildings, crushing cars, just like a kid, or I as a kid would smash together my action figures. So I think there was like a big aspect of that in that movie that I really enjoyed, just the action of it. Action or chaos, maybe. I'm not even sure what the right word is. Like, just the best comparison I can make is, imagine you're a kid that loves to smash together action figures, and then you go and watch a movie and it's these two CGI monstrosities smashing together. Like, you're gonna have a good time. So back then, I had a very simple mind, as you've probably figured out by now. Like, I just enjoyed smashing together action figures, basically. So when I watched this movie, I didn't care how far it set up the MCU, or didn't manage to set up anything relevant in the MCU, or if Hulk looked too veiny and too muscular, or if the character of Hulk or the story was worse than other Hulk movies, or compared to the CGI or the way Hulk eventually looks in the Marvel movies. I didn't care about all that. I just enjoyed the action, and there were a lot of action scenes in this movie. Like, we had like 3 main action set pieces where Hulk got progressively more relevant or got shown progressively more. Like, in the first action scene, it was just that really cool chase scene around the streets of Brazil where he was still trying to not become the Hulk. And I remember like him always looking at his pulse and having that whole aspect of, you're trying to escape from bad guys but have the disability, if you can, or the disadvantage of trying to escape while not getting too high of a pulse. Like, I didn't think this as a kid, but now watching the movie again, like, what a unique aspect to a chase scene. Like, we've had so many chase scenes in movies, like by foot, by car, or whatever the case may be. So it's always cool when movies find like one unique aspect, and having him focus that much on his pulse is actually something that I really enjoyed now and like appreciated the uniqueness. But back then, as a kid, I just thought it was super cool. Like, I remember after watching the movie, I looked or asked my parents how expensive such a watch is to track your pulse, because I also wanted to know my pulse and thought like if my pulse would also reach 200, then maybe I could reach some new power level or turn into the Hulk myself. I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but yeah, I'm just showing that this movie really influenced me, and I thought a lot about this movie and kind of, I like the action in it a lot. And I think what was also kind of intriguing or rewarding and satisfying for me as a kid was that because of this, like, you would think that because this movie is so serious and doesn't have that light-hearted humor that we usually now get in Marvel movies, that this would be a less enjoyable movie for a kid. And I don't know, I guess that's true. Maybe I was just a weird kid, but for me, or maybe I still am weird, but for me, it just had that satisfying, intriguing aspect of having it be such a serious movie, and also the Hulk being, like, especially in some of the first action scenes, almost like in a horror movie. Like, it's that monster and you don't know if he's good or bad, and he's like only shown in the shadows. So it has like some horror movie aspects, at least like we're talking from a kid's perspective. So because Hulk was like that dangerous monster, it had that feeling of when you're watching a movie as a kid and it feels like a movie that's more for adults, and you feel like, oh, I'm not sure if I should be allowed to watch this movie. It feels like a very grown-up movie, a very serious movie, but at the same time, I am watching it, so I do have the opportunity to watch it, or am allowed to watch it. And yeah, it has that feeling that you just can't get as an adult, because as an adult you can just watch any movie. So it had kind of that intriguing aspect of, oh, I get to watch this more adult-like serious movie with that monster. So yeah, that's one of those childhood memories for me. And maybe that's actually one of the issues with this movie, that it can't really decide or doesn't position itself clearly as being for kids or for adults. Like, I'm not sure. Of course, it's difficult to imagine watching a movie now as an adult where you have a lot of nostalgic memories towards, imagining watching that now for the first time. But if I try to do that, I'm not that sure if I would like it as much today. So maybe that's like one of the issues, that it's like for an adult, although it has that serious tone for an adult, it's a bit too Hulk smashy smash. But then for kids, or like for a typical kids-oriented superhero movie, it's a bit too serious. Maybe that's one of the problems why this movie doesn't get the best reputation within the MCU. But because I have these childhood nostalgic memories towards this movie, I can always still appreciate watching it again today. Like, it will always remind me of playing like a really simple, with probably horrible graphics, Hulk game on the GameCube, and remind me of my more primitive childhood brain of just enjoying seeing things smashed together. So although nowadays Marvel wants you to kind of forget that this movie ever happened, even now as an adult watching it again, I wouldn't say that it's a bad movie, but that's kind of the story and the reasons behind why I really like this movie as a kid, and will always have some childhood nostalgic memories for this movie. Let me know if you have any childhood memories for this movie, or if, just like Marvel, this is a movie that you kind of like to forget. And if you have forgotten this movie but want to freshen up your memory, you can go check out my reaction on The Incredible Hulk, and we can revisit it together. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.